less turnovers and getting out in transition. First half, I think we had 0 transition points, and second half, I think we had 17 or 19. So that definitely helped a lot. But I got to give a lot of the credit to Jose. Jose was a vocal leader tonight, and his energy really shifted the course of the game.
And it seems like, very early on in these first 2 games that you and Kelly have been able to click on the court. What do you think y'all have been able to kind of mesh as well as y'all have?
Man, I just told him he got vision. He sees the floor. He sees the game to where there are times where I might not be aware of certain things, and he'll just kind of play off me. Or I'll see he's doing something and kind of relocate to a different spot just because I trust his vision and also trust it. He knows when to exploit a mismatch.
And what's it like just seeing, your 2 young centers, Messi have career-high rebounds, Makovich career-high in points. You've seen them, growing all season and having a night like this.
It's big time. When you're a rookie in this league, you have your highs, you have your lows. So when you're able to see nights like this where you see the fruits of your labor, it definitely does a lot for your confidence. So, Eve, he's been doing it all year. Carlo, especially tonight, that was big time for him.
How's the double big lineup been for you, and what advantages does it give you as an offensive and defensive player?
It definitely gives me an advantage because, especially with KO out there now, if you try to stick a small on him, he's just going to duck in. And he also has a perimeter game to where you can't just sag off him. So, you have a big lineup and I'm able to get downhill, and when I'm dropping the pass off or throwing a lob, they can finish. So now whoever's guarding them has to make a decision on if they're going to step up on me or just allow me to go one-on-one.
In that defensive assignment, you come out, you're guarding Chris to start the game, and most people say, what does Zion do a guard an opposing point guard? But how does that keep you engaged maybe defensively when you have that responsibility, and what's it like being at the top of the defense that way?
I feel like I can guard 1 through 5, personally. Like I said, we're out there with a big lineup, so I feel like I'm mobile enough to, guard CP. But a player like that, you can't just. His resume speaks for itself. He can have an impact on the game probably without even taking 1 shot, or he'll have games where he will decide to be more aggressive with his shot. So when guarding somebody like that, you always got to be aware of how high their IQ is for the game.
As you mentioned earlier, how he was like really vocal tonight. What's it kind of like when he's?
His energy is. I've said it multiple times before in the past. His energy is very infectious because, it just seems like he's all over the court. You feel like you'll see him chase somebody down from squatting down in the corner to closing out on the opposite side to then switching a matchup so he can go guard certain people. And then offensively, his pace. When he pushes the pace like that, it forces everybody else to run, which then creates multiple opportunities, which also led to those 19 fast break points.
Knowing that this is, your post-All-Star break, and you've been having competing for the playoffs, but there's so much with these new guys, whether it's Bruce, whether it's KO, whether it's the young guys who have this opportunity. For you, how are you expanding what your role is as far as in the locker room and getting guys to understand what y'all want to do? And then just your on-court play, are there goals that you've set for yourself down these final 27 games or so?
The goals have been more so a collective thing as the group. From seeing the young guys getting more minutes, seeing Bruce and KO out there getting their minutes, and just building towards standards, building towards what we want to be, so that when next year starts, we don't have to figure it out. We're already there.
I got to talk to Chris briefly, and he said that this summer, he got to be with you and your family. He and his wife went overseas, and that was the first time he had really been around you. But he talked about how dynamic a player you are and the potential that you have. when you get that respect from the older players, even considering the games that you've missed and the way the uneven way maybe your career's gone so far, is that one also the things that motivate you, knowing that you still have the respect of your peers around the league?
It helps. Like I said, CP's resume speaks for itself. And, you know, we did spend some time together overseas this past summer. And, you know, I got to give him his respect. You know, he gave me a lot of wisdom, not just on the court, but off the court as well. And so funny. Off the court, great dude, man. Great dude. But on the court, you can see his competitive side really come out. And, I mean, that's what makes him who he is. But, you know, off the court, he's one of the best dudes I've been around.
And just for you personally, how different has the double big stand? I guess, you know, most of your career you played with 4, I guess people would say. But, you know, how has it felt weird at times, or has it been super different, or how much of an adjustment has it been?
It hasn't been too much of an adjustment for me. At the end of the day, it's basketball. But I do like it because it definitely shows the trust that the coaches have in me in terms of, you know, being a ball handler, but also guarding perimeter guys for the whole game. So, you know, that's something that I definitely wanted to expand on personally. Just like I said, me and Murph talked about it, just being defensive threats, not just being out there helping the team be good defensively, but individually, you know, being a massive threat.
Does that feel more natural for you to be getting these more perimeter touches, getting kind of like that being the focus rather than starting possessions, maybe, you know, 10 to 15 feet from the basket?
Is it more natural? Honestly, no. There's no one or the other for me. Both feel natural, whether it's up top, 10 to 15 feet, or even posting up. But I think it just depends on how the other team's guarding us. Some teams go big, some teams go small. So I think it just depends on how the other team's guarding me.
Victor, obviously, going for the rest of the season. You certainly understand both number one bigs. You know what it's like to have a season cut short. What would you say to Victor? And what do you think that, you know, does it remind you anything of your process of being that first round pick and having the expectations and then, you know, suffering this way? You know, that when you really start to feel like you're getting things going.
I mean, it's always disappointing when you're not on the court. I think our situations are a little different in terms of what we have dealt with. Mine was more so injury-based. I don't know the details on his, but that's something that, you know, I've had family members deal with stuff like that, and all you do is can wish that, you know, he gets healthy as soon as possible, and that's not something that slows him down.